Hello? Can anyone hear me? God, I was wondering when this thing would wake up. Alright, in retrospect, I probably should have done my stream planning a little bit before I actually started the stream, but hey, I have a schedule to keep, so shut up. I now realize that... Jesus, that's way louder than I planned for it to be. I realize now that this is gonna be a little, weird. I've not done this in a very long time. That's kind of my fault, but... Yeah, I need to do something in order to not get a copyright strike for this music. So, I'm just gonna get on with it. Welcome to the stream. The one person that's watching this, it's probably me. Let's do the usual thing of not actually mentioning this until the stream. Let's spread the stream. Where is my funny code? I gotta find my funny code. Gotta spread the stream around. Gotta get it out there. Or something like that. Oh, I can also change the thumbnail now. 1 second. One secundo. This one. What do you mean the file is too big? Ugh. File's too big. My ass. Oh, I should have thought about this. No, that was the wrong image. This one? That'll do. Good old reliable. Old tiny doc. That'll do. Okay, we're now in stream mode, or something like that. And this is the really embarrassing part where my computer either crashes, or the stream just breaks. Or I find out that my microphone has not been on for like the past, 10 minutes. Alright, let's get the show on the road. I'm in no MineZ discords to circulate this anymore. Oh well. The thing I find kind of funny is that a lot of the people who watch my my live streams tend to be people who watch it in retrospect after the stream has actually happened. And I realize streaming on a Monday at 1 PM Eastern is probably not the best idea, but I prefer the freeform of just talking and looking at things, sort of taking it without a script. I kind of enjoy that. So that's what we're going to be doing. And yeah, I think we're just about ready, so let's just get into it. Sorry, I have not touched this interface in such a long time. Alright, we've got a few here. Got a few videos that we gotta look at. A few teasers. We've got 3 in total. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all are gonna have to deal with me being very out of touch with the game. Unfortunately, my wisdom of MineZ has declined. I've not been on this game for a long time. In fact, I'm literally doing this as kind of like a joke. I'm half doing this because someone in the MineZ community board was like, yeah, no, this doesn't even warrant a video. Like, someone else was thinking of doing the same thing, like a breakdown video, and I'm like, hold my beer, kind of thing. So, yeah, no, the plan is just to look at all this. Let me finally turn off the music. Alright. Just give me a moment. I probably should have gotten another bottle of water before I started this. I've only got one on my desk. And I also have not eaten my dinner. So, couple minutes, we'll have a look at this, and, yeah, I could probably actually keep the music on. Yeah, I'll be back, and we'll have a look at this. Don't mind my background. We'll get that. We'll get that. Okay, I've acquired food. The food has been acquired. And now, as I pull up my stream, to 0 people. Let's have a look. Oh my god, I just realized my microphone wasn't on this whole time. God damn it. Okay. Right. Where do I even begin? I can't even remember my train of thought. Okay, let's do this chronologically. My music is going off again. I forgot to turn the music off to begin with. That's probably a good thing. If I wasn't talking into the void. Okay. So, where do we begin? We begin with the original teaser that was released for the Capital Gains update. Let's just sort of begin with the fact that hold on, I'm just gonna play through the video here. We're just gonna begin with the fact that the name Capital Gains is like a very like interesting name, right? Because, well, obviously we're talking about Grimdale here. You can see from the build, and, well, I mean, I guess to better demonstrate my point, this tree here is definitely closer to the main gate of Grimdale than it used to be. So, obviously, we're talking about a rebuild. They've rebuilt Grimdale, which, as much as I loved the old Grimdale, and I think that, you know, the main flaw of old Grimdale, or the main complaint, so to speak, was that a lot of people were unhappy with the fact that, for starters, the build didn't look good on the map, because, well, here, I've got the map here to demonstrate. If I just pull up the map here and you have a look, you kind of start to realize that, like, the sort of, like, the shape language that we got going here is, it basically, it just looks like a load of mess. You don't really, like, see the streets. All you see is, like, all of these, like, weird angled triangles. And I mean, it's like, you've got all of these browns, but it's like the color palette just, like, isn't very interesting, right? The first thing that your eyes are drawn to are, like, the big, like, red-gray walls, kind of like the lighter tones of gray, which actually gives it, like, a good amount of contrast. But when you look at the roofs, it's like all of these mixtures of brown, and there's just not much appealing going on here. But you've also just got all of these very basic shapes. You've got, like, these circles and triangles, and, you know, there's not much going on from the top here, man. It's just kind of, it's very basic. Obviously, we're talking from, like, a top-down level. When you actually go there in game and you're, like, looking at the floor plan, like, here, if I pull this up, you can start to see that there is, like, a lot of complexity in this place. Like, you've got, like, a lot of different varying streets, and, well, yeah, you can clearly see that this is the tree that's meant to be in the video. And you know, you've got the central road going down here. You've got the Paul Source Jr. Golden Gables here, which I will get to that, because that's also a point that's worthy of mention. But you'll notice that there's a lot of chests, and there's no real, like, coherent pathway to go to. You've got this exit here, and, like, I guess, I mean, what I've done personally in the past, and I mean, this is largely a big part of the reason of why I complain that, like, the loot cycle isn't really that big of a problem, is, oh, you can actually turn these off on the top right menu. How do you even... Oh god, I'm clicking buttons. Oh god. Here, if I just go here for a second. You've got all of these chests and no real good way of looking at it. Obviously you've got these food chests. These are like the green spots where you want to go. So I mean, I guess the main thing you used to do is you used to, like, run into this house here, and then there's kind of like a decent path where you can go, like, you can go into the church, and then you go up this way. There's, like, some parkour through some houses, get some food chests, get some mill chests. Just very basic stuff. It's these houses over here, I think. But, like, if you look at the two exits, you've got this here, and you've got this one here as well. So, like, kind of like weaving this way, where you go, like, this way, and then you kind of go around this way, parkour through these houses. It really, isn't exactly a favorable path. And I mean, sure, it could be for like the Grimdale farm route, but like again, look at like having to go this way, go to Grimdale farm, and it's like, it's just so easy to get lost in this part of the map as opposed to just going to Pravis and just running up to Yorkton, or like even like going to Portsmouth and just running up the ice road. If you're going to this part of the map, there really just wasn't a whole lot of appeal to Grimdale, and I still cannot turn that off. Oh, it might be because I'm in this mode. No, I just can't turn it off. But it being a lot smaller, it being a lot more coherent, is definitely going to make it a lot more appealing. And especially if we have a look at the... hang on a minute, it's just loading for a moment. If we have a look at the Portsmouth rebuild on the map, courtesy of the new MineZ map, which we now actually have pretty much live updates of the map as well, you start to notice that the floor plan of this place is like very, very similar to the old Portsmouth. Like this version of Portsmouth is basically just like an enhanced version. So you've got like the barn here, you've got like the big house here, and for the most part, like you've got like a lot of like the main structure. Like you've got the church here, you've got this kind of house here, which actually this is one of the rare cases where a building or like a build has actually like had the interiors of its buildings like improved. Because ordinarily, due to just kind of like the simplicity of old locations in MineZ, it's just very easy to just like run into a house, run out, right? But they actually, with Portsmouth, they kind of removed like a lot of the buildings, which were a little more frustrating to loot. So the main one actually is this one. You had to do this kind of thing where you had to like run in, and then you had to like jump up on something, grab a chest, and then you had to like go up a ladder, spiral all the way on top, get some more loot chests. Whereas now you kind of just run in, you kind of just go up the stairs. This one kept its layout for the most part. And there was also like a blacksmith here, which I don't remember if it was removed or not, but you kind of like had to like run in. And then there was also like a fishing hut somewhere along here where like it was like attached to this dock, I think, and that was also like a really weird one to loot because it just felt like so cramped. And back when the PvE line was a thing, it was very easy to get like snuck up on in those two houses. So those are gone. And they actually made the looting experience a lot better. So the hope is that they've kind of followed like the main layout of Grimdale in the past, where like you had the big sort of house on this side and you kind of like had like an entryway. Granted, I don't think they've done that, and like if you look at this here, you can certainly see like, hey, this tree is this tree here. And especially if you I'll get to that in just a moment. I do want to mention the Golden Gables, but like if you look, you can kind of vaguely tell that the assets that they've used for the new places may just be recycled, or at least very similar to the old Grimdale. And by old Grimdale, I don't mean like the really, really old, like pre-Origins Grimdale. I'm simply talking about this version of Grimdale that we're looking at right now. So the assets may be the same, but obviously there is reason to dispute this, because if I carry on the video here and just let it kind of play for a moment, you see that this Golden Gables here has obviously been rebuilt, because that was this house here, and you can kind of see it's at like a bit of a diagonal. You've got like this diagonal barn house here, so obviously this building has been rebuilt. So it kind of lends to the implication, at least, that maybe just all of the assets have just been rebuilt, and you know, the only thing that's kind of like stayed right here is kind of like the aesthetic, which, you know, I think that's fair enough. I think that Grimdale post Origins wasn't inherently a bad build. I just think that it was confusing. And following the layout of the old Grimdale that people know is definitely gonna win the appeal of like Portsmouth, for instance. Because you look at places like Yorkton, you look at places like Romero, and you realize they haven't been rebuilt because of the kind of like the memory appeal, the nostalgia factor. And then you look at like successful rebuilds, you know, that have gone down well with the community. You think of places like Alhassa, which, you know, very much have like the layout that they always kind of did. And so it's a good thing that they are taking what is essentially like the most unanimously disliked rebuild in the entire game and kind of returning to the old formula. That's good. And yeah, even with the sort of like, oh, that's the wrong video entirely. You look at the sewers, and well, I actually don't know if Portsmouth originally, or sorry, not Portsmouth. I don't know if Grimdale originally had a sewer system. It kind of looks like this is like very similar to the original. And by the original, I mean I'm really mixing up my words here right now, man. It's been so long. You can tell it's been so long. I am talking about this Grimdale yet again. And you do kind of start to realize that they have basically taken the best parts of the Grimdale rebuild and just put it into something new. I think there are better shots in this video here, which we're about to watch, so I will get to that in just a second. Yeah, no, you can obviously tell there is like a rebuild. That kind of looks like a hint of like the Golden Gables here, but it's like, I don't know, it's hard to tell which part of Grimdale this would be. Obviously, in the past, there was like kind of like the Hangman's Noose, and then you kind of like had like this walk-in. I'm assuming that's what this building is, but it's like the outdoorsy part, which should be down here, obviously looks different, which, you know, I hope is for the better, because I'm not gonna lie, and I'm kind of a new Grimdale apologist, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of felt like the old Grimdale was like one of the worst like original Spawn Towns pre-origins. I felt like it was very cramped, and so I feel like removing like things like the Hangman's Nooses probably actually to the benefit of this rebuild, I'm gonna be honest. But aside from that, I think that's probably just about everything I have to say. We look at the flag here, and well, that's you know, that's not a flag you see anywhere. It very much resembles the original Grimdale flag. I would pull up a screenshot, but I'm kind of worried that like if I click my file explorer here, it's just gonna pull me into some place on my freaking computer of God knows where, and I don't know, like I don't know, reveal like my freaking secret documents of God knows whatever cringe I spend on my free time making PowerPoints and whatever. Not even joking. Like my history of folders is literally just gonna be full of like PowerPoints of like Pokemon and like nerd stuff that I never use. Anyway, that's this one. Okay, this is the second video, and I really kind of have to think about where this would be. It looks new, but someone described it as like an old place in Grimdale, and I'm just gonna go with that. I'm just gonna go with the assumption that this is just some rebuild of like an old place in original Grimdale. So not this, like something way back. So I'm just gonna assume that, and I'm not gonna like look at what this is. You can kind of see like a loot chest, a God knows what. I'm not gonna focus too much on the interior, and I'm just gonna focus on the fact that obviously this pig boy holding a pickaxe walks up to the anvil, and we get an iron nugget. This obviously is going to be the main gameplay loop of the update. The thing that kind of sprang to mind here when I was looking at this for the first time before the actual trailer released, was the whole thing in Ascendia Ruins with like the gatestones, right? Where you bring enchanted iron components and you like break them down and you get like these nuggets. And you use those nuggets eventually to repair the gate stones. And once you've repaired the gate stones, you also get like an upgraded version of the gate stones. So I was thinking along the lines originally of like, hey, maybe this is just like a non-enchanted, non-magical version of that, where you just bring like iron equipment and you like break it down and you get these nuggets, and it's kind of like a way to like repair iron in like a way where you don't have to fight the golem or anything. And I imagined that because, you know, kind of going along with theme with like repairing the gate stones, that maybe you would be able to like repair like unique items like legendaries, which is not off the table strictly speaking, because in the next trailer we will see that they have like stuff to do with golems. So we will get there. God, I'm like so dehydrated right now. I'm just gonna drink some water first. Ay. Remember, guys, to stay hydrated. Anyway, there really isn't much to see in this trailer. It basically kind of just shows like the main mechanic. But obviously with this, they wanted to provoke the idea, or not provoke, evoke the idea that this was obviously going to be a crafting update. Even with like the pickaxe to begin with, you know, this is an item in the game that we really have not seen since. Well, I mean, we've seen it in the Christmas update. It was obviously used to unlock the Christmas dungeon, but it's not something that we've seen since the settlements update. So there was obviously this aspect where they wanted us to assume that there would be some kind of creative, or at least kind of resource gathering aspect to this. We don't see what's in Pigboy's hand, so we can't really assume. We only see, you know, he changes it from a pickaxe to an iron nugget, which again is an item we've never seen. So it's like, you know, it doesn't leave us with much possibility. Obviously, with the update being called Capital Gains, there was the assumption that maybe it was going to be, you know, crafting currency, and then I guess that was one of my other theories, was like maybe you're like crafting like unminted coins, and then you like have to like do something to get those coins minted, and then they like kind of like become like a currency thing, and essentially, you know, turning MineZ into that kind of spreadsheet simulator kind of appeal, where there is like actual ways to gain money. And you know, while that isn't strictly like a bad thing, with like the number of like former and current players playing the game, there is a risk of inflation, under like, you know, depreciation. And well, I mean, if you look at what happened with gunpowder, right, it just kind of seems like inevitable that like economy would crash. But I mean, you never know. It gives people a way to trade. It gives people a way to you know, it incentivizes people to play the game, and it creates a gameplay loop. But there was nothing immediately evident about what this was going to be used for. The obvious prediction was going to be maybe you use it to repair armor. And then that's when the actual trailer comes along. The actual trailer comes along, and I'm gonna kind of try and go by this bit by bit. I have kind of got my dinner like right next to me as well, so I am kind of gonna be like juggling, like talking about my perceptions and opinions on what we're actually looking at on the stream, and just straight up just eating my food. But we are basically talking at this point a new gameplay loop. What is revealed in this trailer basically just screams we're getting a new gameplay loop. And the MineZ community have been very vocal about the creation of new ways to play the game, new ways to gear, and essentially make the looting aspect of the game more dynamic, as opposed to just like clicking on chests and you know, the things of that nature, which kind of, to people who have been playing this game for 10 years like 10 years now, has gotten old and boring and tiresome and, you know, understandably a grind. And while there is a risk of this becoming a grind, I mean, we'll just have to see how it plays out. Just give me a moment. I'm gonna consume a mouthful of my dinner while we just... Yeah. Let's just open this stream up, or this video up. Let's just watch up, and I'm just gonna enjoy my food. I totally did not forget to unmute the stream. That is definitely not something I just did. So already, in this first shot, we see the new Grimdale. It's hard to tell whether these are old assets or new assets. We've obviously still got the curved houses, but you can see we've got these two trees. I'm gonna need to go into this mode again, aren't I? We've got these two trees. Or... I have just completely lost track of how many trees are in Grimdale at this point. There's a lot of trees. We've got those, and obviously, well, it's kind of hard to tell if they're reused assets from, like, this alone. But they are obviously trying to keep to the old formula. You've kind of got, like, the bodies hanging from the trees, like, so, I mean, it's a possibility, but, like, it's whatever, I guess. It's a good thing that they're dedicating their resources to not building everything from scratch, because that would just be a pain, and that would be a delay on the update, and at this point, that's really not something that's needed. But yeah, no, we see, you know, this building here, which is Paul's Horse Jr.'s, or this is at least where it was in the old layout, kind of like this thing here. That is a completely new building. We've got like kind of like a Cyrus style build, Cyrus-esque in like the way the roofing looks, and yeah, it's not horizontal, or it's not like it's not on like a oh, what is the word? Like a vertical angle anymore. It's just fully like horizontal right now. And yeah, no, it looks good. Like this build looks good. And you know, the color contrast here, like already we've got, I can't tell if that's acacia, but it already looks way better and more dynamic than what we have here, right? We've got this here, which I'm gonna move later on into the video to kind of describe my thoughts on this. This is just Dry Creek. We can see here. This is just Dry Creek. Let me find it. Like they've not changed this. This is Dry Creek. We've got you know, this the main thing I use to identify it is we've got these two like window panes here. We've got this thing going along here, and you can see they've pretty much just decorated it. So they haven't rebuilt it, but they've added whatever this thing is. I'm assuming that these very out of place looking purple blocks are placeholders for chests. So that's just my assumption. I don't think that's actually part of the build. Because I know how much of a build, like the builders of this game have a vendetta against Purple. So my assumption is that those are loot chests, but man, this actually looks pretty good. It's very in theme with like the bright kind of like colors of this part of the map. It kind of gives it like a very like urban kind of desertic vibe that you only really like see in like cities and stuff, like packed populated cities, but it kind of gives this vibe of like a traveler's kind of market, and I really do like that. It feels like very roomy. You can see in the background that we've got like new terrain here, and you know, you've kind of got this thing here, you've got like these tents, and you've got these rocks that kind of allow you to see that build there is what we're looking at here. So yeah, no, it seems what they've done And I'm gonna make this assumption that this whole kind of like dry forest biome, as I'm gonna call it, has received a biome rework, kind of like what we've got up here with this. I don't think it's gonna be like too like ambitious. Like I don't think it's gonna be like insane levels of biome rebuild, but it's something. It's good, and it's, you know, it's a popular part of the map. I would hope that it's good. But we've set. Oh, here we go. We got another shot here. We've got a tree out there as well. I haven't actually looked at this properly. Which part of Grimdale are we looking at here? Are we looking at... I think this is a different part of the... Oh, it's kind of hard to tell, actually. But again, you know, we do have, like, vertical houses. And... I mean, the reused assets, like I say, are welcome. I'm glad that they're not like wasting any time making anything new if that's the case, but it seems that this build like does still seem to be kind of bigger than we anticipated. Unless this gate here is meant to be like this, but like more distant, which... Hang on a minute. Now that I look at it... Oh, maybe not, because I can't see any flags, but... It's obviously in the Grimdale style. We've got the Grimdale flags right here. And there's a second tree. So I'm wondering if maybe that's this here. And they basically just like kind of like shorten the distance that we've got between here. And then I'm going to assume that maybe this tree that we're looking at right here is like this. And we're just getting like a funny angle of something. It's hard to tell, but it's like it's almost like not worth analyzing too deep, because you look at it and you're like, yeah, like we've got these overhangs here. We're looking at Grimdale here. We don't need to break it down any more than that. This just is Grimdale. Like it's the freaking Capital Games update. Like it seems unlikely that this would be anything other than Grimdale right now. So we're just gonna go with that assumption right now. And then here we got a proper view here. Yeah, a very nice transition right there. Really nice actually. It's just kind of a shame that like the render distance here kind of ruins it a little, but like you can see that these trees that we're looking at in the distance here, they have rebuilt this biome around. They've given us a lot more beach to work with, and I reckon we can probably assume that they've probably rebuilt a lot of this desert area as well, because you know, they've already touched one. They've already touched one desert right up here. This place looks really good now. And right now all we've kind of got here is we've got this desert here, and then we've also got this one over here. And they basically look exactly the same, so, you know, by proxy, let's make this desert over here unique by making this one unique, and let's rebuild it. And, well, fingers crossed, that seems like what they've done. It does very much just look like this. Like, you've got this dock down here, and it very much just looks like this, except it's shrunk. And... we look at this build here, look at this, if it will load in any second now, look at the way this looks, and then look at this. They have reused it. They've reused the asset, which is good. Like, I'm happy to see this. 'Cause it means, you know, they've spent less time on this and more time on other parts of the update. Fingers crossed, touch wood. And I don't think anyone is really gonna call them lazy for that. They've just upgraded Grimdale by kind of downgrading it in a way. And that is a very welcome change. And then here we can kind of see this is like a new fountain here. But for the most part, like you know, it bears a lot of resemblance to the old Grimdale. It still feels very open. It kind of has like an old like Ascendia vibe to it, honestly. Like it kind of like vaguely reminds me of like the layout of like old like Ascendia, like way back in MineZ 2. It feels very open and roomy. Like how many blocks wide is this? This has got to be like at least like 15 blocks wide. So it's like it's very spacious, but they've made it smaller. It remedies the problem of Grimdale feeling too big while also giving this sense of breadth and openness that, you know, makes it feels like it still has the feeling of being the capital city of MineZ. We've still got that. And yeah, again, we've got the chess marker right here. We've got melon. Oh wait, no, that's just grass blended in. But yeah, like, and then this, kind of funny because like you look at the block palette they've used here. You look at like the lanterns and like the overhangs and like I guess that wasn't really like a segue. It was like a very brief segue. We're talking about Pravis now. This is obviously a Pravis rebuild. But you kind of like look at this and you kind of see like a vague resemblance almost to kind of like Zerbia, like the lower levels of Zerbia and like the way that the build is laid out. Like you've got like these overhangs here which kind of remind me of like if you just go over to Zerbia here, you oh, maybe you can't really see it that well, but like on the lower levels of Zerbia you've got like these like kind of like, oh, what are they called, like canopies, right? And you've got like all of these things spewing around. Like even here you can see like lanterns and it's all just kind of like a mishmash. And like what is that meant to be, like a cannon or like a girder or something? And you've got like these crates and it just kind of like it rings like to that kind of like shanty pirate like well, it's like kind of like half shanty, kind of like half trader like vibe, which, you know, is very nice. It brings some kind of like the theming of MineZ together. It makes the world feel a lot more connected. And interestingly, if you look at the lighting here, look at like the lighting, it almost kind of like looks like these like lantern like heads that they've got here almost kind of look like they're giving off light of their own, which I don't know how they would do that without lighting blocks, which are like 1.18. But it looks good. And I do need just a moment because I'm not gonna lie, I did not come pre-prepared to look at this. But if we just scroll over far enough, we'll probably be able to tell. It does kind of bear a vague resemblance to what like Pravis already looks like. Granted, you know, I don't know if the layout is exactly the same per se, but we've got these rivers flowing through. We've got these kind of like taller houses accompanied by like kind of like short houses, and like if you look at the town, it is very much like flat. Like it's very much like you've got like these very long, very like low to the ground buildings with like not very like elevated ceilings, and then you've got like these very tall like things, like I don't know how to describe them, like masts of ships. Like it very much feels like they have just kind of built this town by like pulling apart like shipwreck parts. Like if you look at this house here, for instance, it kind of like looks like the hull of like a galleon or something, and you kind of see that, like you kind of like see in this kind of shape language here, you see like the tilted angle of like a dismantled mast or whatever that like has been used to build this shanty town. Like here you can see what looks like the sorry, I play a whole ton of Sea of Thieves and I'm not even touched up on my boat terminology. It's terrible. But like here we've got like the front like pointy thing that's on a ship. We've got like the hull here. What looks to be, we've got like this little hole here. It kind of looks to be like the captain's quarters there. And then jutting out here, we have the mast. So obviously we have just straight up got in almost like complete, like pure holiness here. We have just a straight up shipwreck that has just been turned into a building, and I just think that's so cool. Like it very much gives me like vibes of like Bilgewater from League of Legends, where they basically just taken like shipwrecks and just like piled them on top of one another until they have something that just like vaguely resembles like buildings, and it's like very like shantytown like vibes. Like if you go to like Spain and you've got like the favelas and like these very like colorful like vibrant shanty towns, which are basically just buildings like built on top of one another, and it kind of basically just screams like this is an above ground Cyrus that's made with shipwrecks, and that, I don't know, something about that is just so badass as like a concept. I really love what they've done here. It looks so good. It's kind of hard to judge whether, see, again, I like, you've got like the kind of like, it looks like a clownfish, but you've got this here. It's obviously like a decayed sails mast, and you've got like the flags, and it seems that they have vaguely at least preserved the layout of this town while still keeping it very open. And yeah, I just think that like you've got like this watchtower here. It looks good. It looks like they have kept true to the original while also keeping it interesting. They've made it unique, and they've kept it in the theme of MineZ, and they've linked it back to the like the kind of thematic of the original, while also, you know, making it feel like it's a part of the MineZ world. Like I said, it feels, you know, it fits Pravis, but it also kind of like has like Zebia vibes, and it, you know, it kind of stays true to like that pirate connection. I really like that. I think they've done a great job. Anyway, my food is getting cold. I'm gonna take another bite before continuing, because this is like a rapid fire sequence here. So give me a moment. I've got some really good pizza bread that has been sitting here for like an hour. Mm. Yeah, no, it's still really good. I'm just gonna play this and let it speak for itself. Honestly, gives me some time. Oh man, what a great trailer this is. And oh man, how am I just not eating my dinner tonight? So watching over that sequence again, I kind of realized that there was this part at the start of the video that I didn't really mention. I'm now going to mention it because I think it's around, oh, which part of the video was it? I think it was like this part of the video here. Obviously, this is Kadar. We're looking at Kadar here, and we basically know exactly which part of Kadar this is. If we look at the build here, we've got quite a few like overturned corners of like you've got these broken corners of like the buildings, and you can very clearly tell that it's obviously got to be one of these, right? I don't know which one exactly, but like, just look at the color palette, look at the style of the houses. It's very hard to believe that this is not just like a new location outright. We've got this bridge here, which is kind of hard to see, but it kind of looks like this is going to be the road that leads up to Pravis here. And we've got this biome rework in the background. So the stage is already kind of set. We've kind of already set the stage for this new biome rework. So we can now go back here and look at this and realize for a moment that we have not seen this. If you look at this like angle of like this stone here, if we look at this kind of like dark, very dark brown thing as the sun comes up, you look at the map and you realize we don't really have any builds like this in this part of the map. Sure, we've got something like Torrid Keep and we kind of got like this single dark patch, but it's like this dark patch here is like at such an angle and it's like so massive that like it's kind of hard to imagine that this is anything other than like a Lost Castle rebuild. Because we are talking about this this kind of like arid, like desert kind of. You see, there's obviously like this distinction here. We've got like this dark, it's like a kind of like more like yellowish green than like this kind of like fresh lush green that we have in this forest here. And it's like the Lost Castle is like so close to that border. Like it's kind of hard to imagine that they would not like. Obviously, we've kind of got like a hilly region here, so like what they could have done is maybe they brought this down because this was like a very like weird terrain. It's like, look at how steep this mountain is. We start down here at like Y level 64 and we move all the way up to like whatever this is. It's kind of like quite high, right? So it's not exactly the most navigatable, or like it's not fun to navigate this terrain. So it would make sense if they made it a little more I guess reasonable, considering what they did in the road less traveled. They made things a lot more reasonable to traverse, and especially considering how this is like such a down south location that new players will probably run into this quite a lot. It makes sense that they would want to make it more traversable. And so like bringing the elevation down makes sense, but also we still don't really see what color, like how far this is and what color the grass really is. So for all we know, it could be this, you know, it could be keeping this fresh, lush grass kind of color and still just be on like the border and you know, because as far as you look, you know, the granite ends here and it's only a little bit of a way off until you reach the Lost Castle. So it makes sense that it would be that. It makes a little less sense that it would be Yorpton. I mean, it could, but like this seems like a pretty, like it seems pretty drastic, don't you think? It feels like for something that drastic, they would not make that Yorpton, because as I was saying at the start of the video, there's a reason they haven't touched Yorpton and Romero, and there's also a reason why Hassa is like one of the community favorite rebuilds. It's kind of like the Portsmouth thing, where like if you build a beloved location or you rebuild a beloved location, it has to remain very close to the original. And that is like the whole reason why we have a new Grimdale in the first place. So I mean, it makes sense that this obviously wouldn't be Yorpton, but I wonder, because we're obviously seeing more than just, you know, Grimdale and Pravis in this update, it does make me wonder, are we maybe by chance going to see a Yorpton rebuild? Because it's not as ambitious as Romero, which is freaking huge. But it is obviously still a very beloved and very desperately in need of a rebuild location. So, you know, maybe it's due for one. We'll just have to see about it. And then we've got this bit. We're looking at all the mining spots. We've got Hassa Quarry, which I'm glad is finally being used, because this was a really awkward spot. It's just so big. And there wasn't really much of a purpose to it, right? It's really pretty. It looks really good, and I'm glad that it was rebuilt in this manner. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, considering how close it is to Al Hassa, it's like very unusual to not have a purpose besides being this big. So it's a good thing that they've used it. Oh, this is interesting. Let's have a look at this for a moment. We have a golem right here. Look at this. We've got... So I'm assuming that's someone with absorption and not like some other potion effect. But we've got this golem freaking spewing out fire here. We've got a fireball going up for some reason. And if you kind of look here, you also see like a second one. Hold on, I need to get the perfect shot here. Did I just miss the shot entirely? I totally missed the shot entirely. You see a fireball goes up somewhere. This one here, it goes up. So it's obviously the golem firing off these fireballs. And there's another shot later on. You see people fighting the golem, doing all kinds of things. Obviously this is, you know, that's a different attack. And it kind of makes me believe that maybe this is, kind of ironically, as part of the update, bringing back settlement mechanics that we've obviously got new content for where the settlement update began. We might have a new variant of the giant. Like, obviously we had the Scorched Giant to begin with, and you could only fight that on public servers, so we might have some new public tongue twisted, Jesus, PvPvE content, where you're fighting PvE, but there is a risk of PvP. And I imagine that's probably going to go hand in hand with the Earthshaker debate that happened recently, and, you know, we might have some new things to look forward to, maybe some new loot, but who can guess? The only thing I will say is, I have not liked this video, the only thing that I can say right now is it is possible that this golem will probably drop some iron that's part of the update. Maybe it's stuff that you use for rebuilds, or it could, you know, link into the idea of going towards currency maybe, or offering some kind of rare resource that you can't normally store, and has some kind of special purpose, because the original golem is kind of where all of this began. Like, the original golem was kind of like the first thing to drop like a crafting material. We had the iron that it dropped, and you could use that to repair stuff. You could use it to craft the iron block that's used to craft the Earthshaker. And then obviously later on they added all of the crafting recipes, and this is kind of like where it all began, right? With this boss here. Which is so funny to me, because we've got the irony of crafting stuff in Laserville, right? It just seems so perfect. We've come full circle. But anyway, the point is, it could drop an upgraded version of iron that we haven't seen yet, and could be part of the update. We've got this shot here of, you know, we've got the component bag. It's a component bag tier 3, and we have a lot of storage. But we also have these slots here. We've got these slots that are just not in use whatsoever, and it kind of makes me wonder, is the tier 3 component bag really going to be the highest level bag? You know, having a tier 3, it confirms that we are going to have a tier 1 bag, and we're going to have a tier 2 bag. But we do not know whether there could be a tier 4 bag. And it makes me wonder whether the tier 4 bag could be something that will drop from the golem, and it might contain some special ingredients like, I don't know, maybe like diamond, but these ingredients here just seem like very basic. We've not got any like gold or anything, and you know, it very much just kind of sticks to what we already have in MineZ. The interesting thing, and a thing that kind of made me scratch my head a bit was we've got this gray dye here. And whether this is just like meant to be like symbolic of like a locked slot where like there's meant to be some kind of resource here, but the bag hasn't like unlocked it yet. But this thing here, he hovers over it and it says 0 out of 15. So it's not even like the slot isn't like occupied or anything. And it's like you can fill the slots with like however many things you want. Say, pretend that this bag was like 7 slots plus 9. Yeah, so it'd be 9 slots, right? And it looked like this. It had this gray icon until you added the components and filled that slot. But it's obviously not the case because we've got this preoccupied slot of iron. So we genuinely do not know what this is. It could be anything. And we also don't know why we have iron nuggets. Maybe it's for chainmail, I don't know, but otherwise, we've got iron ingots. Why would we need iron nuggets? Iron ore, surely, you put it, you know, you put it in a furnace. There's a shot of someone in a furnace, you know, obviously using the furnaces. And yeah, we don't see the product, but we can only assume that it's going to spit out iron ore, right? Because, again, we have that clip from the last teaser. He goes to the anvil, he does something, and he gets the iron nugget. So unless it was for chainmail, it just doesn't make sense. And again, we've got leather here. What would the leather even be used for? Armor? Bags? I mean, yeah, I guess that's fair enough. But like, things like cobblestone. What is cobblestone going to be used for outside of a single stone sword? And, you know, if it's just for the stone sword, who's going to carry that? Okay, maybe this is just meant to be like a rock or something. Maybe the gray thing is just meant to be a rock because it resembles the cobblestone color. But it makes you think, what would it be used for? Like, what is the purpose of having such niche ingredients as iron nuggets, leather, and cobblestone in an interface like this? And again, maybe because this isn't symbolic of an empty slot, maybe there is the potential to still have other ingredients that we haven't seen in a tier 4 bag of some sort. Because if you look at what he's holding, it's not even like a shulker box. It's like, you know, it's got the texture for, I'm guessing what seems like kind of like an adventurer's pack. So there could be so many variants of this. Like, it's just it's a brown bag. It doesn't look very spectacular or anything. So there could be like this uber cracked, like really, really cool variant. Who knows? Anyway, let's just go back here for a moment. They're obviously mining these ores, so there is going to be ore all around the place. And you can see they're mining cobblestone as well, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, what is the reason? And also, what is the limit, right? Like, cobblestone is area. Area? Cobblestone is everywhere. What kind of areas are going to be, like, specifically designated for, like, mining cobblestone, and how do you tell? What is the obvious sign that tells you, okay, you can't just go up to, like Grimdale and, like, mine, like, a random cobblestone block in Grimdale. And it also kind of like makes you wonder because, I mean, melons, you can just harvest a melon wherever you see it. But if you look at these shots of Grimdale, and I'm just going to go back for a moment, there's coal. There's coal on the ground here. What is stopping someone from just like, you know, just like mining coal, right? Anyway, I'm just gonna because there's really no way to say. I'm going to assume that you probably can mine coals like that. but there's got to be a limit, right? And especially for cobblestone. Like, look at all of this cobblestone here. Obviously, there have to be designated zones. And I wonder if the limit is basically just for certain resources, like how many you can carry. And I don't know, maybe there's a cooldown. Because there obviously, you know, you see here, he mines that, it turns into cobblestone. So, the likely probability is that they are just going to convert into cobblestone and have a cooldown. And I mean, there's so many of these places that, I mean, you can just kind of go around them and it doesn't really matter, like, whether they stay like this until, like, the server reboots, right? But it's definitely going to encourage a lot of moving around and possibly PvPing, while also, you know, being kind of semi-renewable. And I mean, just look at how much stuff there is. There's got to be like so many zones like this in MineZ. Like you can see mining and quarry. Like there's even like iron there, right? So like, who knows, bro? Who knows? It could just be everywhere. Anyway, I'm kind of, I can feel it. I'm vaguely losing my voice already, and I want to talk about this bit here next. But I also don't want my food to go cold. So I'm like gonna like finish up my food. I'll like, I don't know. How do I fill the stream in this dead time? Do I just do the funny like stream starting soon thing? Do I just like switch to the stream while I finish my dinner? Is that the plan? Or do I just play Minecraft? I don't know. But I do want to keep talking about this. This food is gonna go cold, man. I swear I will be 5 minutes and nothing more. I cannot neglect self-care, and this food just tastes so goddamn good. I just launched my Minecraft. Okay, I will be back very shortly. Just give me a moment. I'm just gonna put on some nice music. We'll be back. I gotta say, it was some good food. One might even say really good. Let's get that music off. Alright. Now that we are refreshed, let's get back to business. Let me just find my... There we go. Okay. So. Where were we? Oh yeah, the update looks good. It looks very promising, actually. I do wonder if there is more to this update than we see in the trailer, because I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to tell whether adding a new gameplay loop is actually going to greatly impact the current community of MineZ. We'll have to see. It depends how well people take it, to be honest, but at the end of the day, it looks very good. I'm honestly excited to gear in a kind of what seems like more laid back way. And hopefully, you know, like, I don't know, doing dungeons or grave robbing, for instance, there would hopefully be like some kind of unique variants of loot. We'll have to see. But anyway, we will keep going with our breakdown of this wonderful trailer while my, I don't know, I guess my computer just clips out of existence. So the next thing I wanted to mention is this shot here. I think again, the funny thing is that this is the exact same location as the first video. We've got like the green up there, and then we've kind of like got whatever this thing is. Obviously, this is Grimdale. I don't remember who pointed this out to me, but I had a bit of trouble figuring where this was at first, but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's Grimdale. It's the first shot of this whole thing. And then this one here, this is what appears to be Camp Kaj, because we've got like the kind of like very like stylized buildings. We've got the green what appears to be terracotta up there, and a lot of these series of anvils down here, which I find kind of interesting because I always kind of thought that those anvils on the ground were meant to resemble like a sawmill or like a conveyor belt. I'm trying to just find the build here for a second. I don't remember if they're actually meant to be anvils, because like there's a line of them on the ground, and I remember in old Camp Azara there was either like a conveyor belt or like a sawmill, so I'm gonna assume it's like this part here or someplace, and I don't know, it just seemed like very odd. But I'm like fairly sure that it's probably Azara. I mean, if it was, I would imagine that it was probably a rebuild, but a rebuild of a rebuild. But to be honest, I never really actually liked the first rebuild of Azara, but I mean, you've got the wood there, like maybe it's in Meridian or something. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I don't know. I'm gonna put my money on Camp Kaj right now. And yeah, we'll just see. That's probably, that thing there in the background is probably this. Let's just say this is Camp Kaj for now. This shot here, this has got to be Portsmouth. It can't be anything else. And the reason why I know that it's Portsmouth is because we've got these sails here. We've got the blue sail, we've got the yellow sail. That's what this is. You can't see the pink sail because you've got this statue here. But I'm assuming it's going to be in this little spot there. So that's what this is. And then it's kind of hard to tell what these other ones would be, because you're basically looking at nothing here. What I find kind of interesting is that whoever is taking this, it's hard to tell whether they're wearing a chest plate or an elytra. I'm gonna assume it's a chest plate and that this is just like some kind of like cape. But that's just something that I was kind of like thinking when I watched this the first time. I was like, what the heck, elytra? But no, it's just the way that this guy's skin looks. This, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that this is probably Carnival, because in Carnival you've kind of got like this, you've got like this little like building. I want to say it's this one, where you've kind of got like this little porch. You've got this porch and there's like a kind of like a mill on it, like an anvil or whatever. So I'm going to assume that this is the porch that you find at Carnival. And then, hold on a minute. Did I just like... God, that shot is so quick. It's like a single frame, isn't it? This one. I think this is Kami. I want to say this is Kami. It is so hard to tell. And also, like, I just have not played this game in so long. I want to assume that it's probably this here, because you've got like the brick, and you've got like things on the floor. You've got like this kind of, yeah, no, this is got to be Kami, isn't it? You've got buttons on the ground. Yeah, no, that's Kami. And then this one, it kind of looks like there's like water in the background, and it looks like there's like the slope with like, oh, this could be anything. I do not know, but I want to say it's maybe a spawn town. It's kind of hard to tell. I almost want to say that it could be like maybe like this building here, and like they rebuilt like this building specifically, but it's very hard to tell. And also like they wouldn't put a blacksmith area and like make that the focal point if like Romero's a big town. Like there's got to be one somewhere in there, right? Wait, what the hell? Wait a minute. Wait, what the hell? What? Wait. Wait, what the hell? Why is... Why is the bridge still Christmas themed? That's so funny. I was like, I don't remember seeing anywhere else that was Christmassy on the MineZ map. Dear God, that's actually kind of funny. Man, that's kind of funny. Anyway, yeah, I thought I wasn't schizo. Look at this. Or am I schizo? Nah, no way I'm schizo. Hold on. I just want to play this back frame by frame right now. I've got my inspection goggles on, you see. I've got a... Oh god, I hate that audio quality. Okay, no, I'm just being schizo. For a second I thought they reused a frame, but no. This final shot, I had no clue where it was to begin with. But I had a few guesses. And it's very, very, like, loose guesses, because I have no clue. I wanted to say that it could be Huntsgrove, because you've got all of the spruce wood, and you've kind of got, like, these stone brick frames. So I was thinking maybe it could be Huntsgrove, but probably not, because now that I look at it, I realize the frames don't extend all the way down. And then I thought it could maybe be not Concilio. It could maybe be Evergreen Manor. But then I was like, no, because this uses Dark Oak. And then I was like, Logging Camp? I mean, that's just something I'm looking at right now as a possibility. But no. And then I was like wondering, and this is just like a theory which like has no evidence for it. I was like, what if this is Jack Sabalon Mansion? And it seems like a weird thing to say, but you have the frames here, which are made of spruce, and then you've got like the outlines which are like made of like stone, and I guess the thing that really made me think about this is you've got like a lot of this overgrown area, and you can kind of see like the vines in the background here. You've got like a bit of overgrowth, but then you've also got like these white spots, and you know, it's like kind of very similar color palettes, maybe, I don't know. But like if you look at this is just atrocious. Like this is probably the single worst build on the MineZ map. It literally just like you look at it on the map and it genuinely looks like an assortment of blocks. It hardly looks like a build, and it feels horrible to loot. Like it's so cramped. I hate that location. Oh, also I guess it could be like Castle Wavernia or something. I don't know. I would need to see it when it loads up. It could be Wavernia as well, but probably not. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but it at least looks vaguely new, just based on like the interior alone. But yeah, no, fingers crossed for Jack Sabalon Mansion, I guess. Hope that place gets the Laserville treatment. Jesus. Anyway, let's carry on with the video. We've already reviewed these shots. Nothing really exciting or new here. Whoa, what the heck just happened there? That was an interesting thing. All of my things just like reloaded there. Jesus. Here, let me put that back. I just thought for a moment that I saw like something. Oh, that's just a candle, never mind, or like a torch or something. Anyway. So, this is something which I found interesting. This, based on the architecture here and the Jesus symbology in MineZ, I guess, we have Caucho, evidently. We've got the cross on the top there, and we've got all of these mushrooms around, except it not only seems to be in a different layout based on the way that the bridges are connected, and also like just the way like the trees look. Like I feel like that tree wasn't there to begin with. Maybe it's kind of like a contrast of like the build styles when Origins came out and like the build styles now. I don't know, but regardless, it would appear as though they have moved Caucho down to here, which is good because this was like the only thing, or like the only boat aside from Bell Farm that wasn't actually connected to its town. And I mean with Bell Farm it works because like Bell Farm is like so big and like so obvious on the road. It's like kind of hard to miss. So it's like it's not that big of an offender for Bell Farm, but like here, if you come over here and you look at the distance, and also just like the thickness, right? They really need to do what they can to make this place just actively like not horrible. And moving Caucho down here was definitely the way to go. It means that they've kept Herbalist Hideout out here, which I think is good. And it also means like the road up all the way here to either the Waygate or to Somnia is like kind of preserved, I guess. But yeah, no, I don't think it's the boat that's moved, as some people suggested. I just think Caucho has moved. It just makes the most sense. And then this, whatever this is, there's some kind of number puzzle here. And this is new, I think. So this appears to be a new dungeon, and I genuinely cannot place my finger on what. But if you look, you'll see that the symbol here is different to this symbol. So maybe it's like some kind of, like, you've got these levers here. And also, if you notice the, notice you've got like this one here, this one here, this one here, this one, and I don't actually know if there is one down there, but obviously they're 4 different ones. It makes you wonder if it's like one of those like 3x3 grid slider puzzles where you have to like slide one along, and then it makes a pattern, and you like have to like it's like a puzzle where like you kind of like have to like complete an image, and you have to like slide them along, for instance. And maybe like there's like a single like empty slot, and you have to like match them to fit. So maybe that's what this puzzle is. It could also just be like an animation, I guess. But whatever case, it's new, and the build style vaguely resembles, it kind of vaguely resembles Body Offload a bit, with like kind of like the coarse dirt and various grades of terracotta. I don't think it would be Body Offload, because they've kind of, you know, it's already been done before with like the whole Body Offload having an alternate path kind of thing. So unless this was like a direct continuation of like something from Origins, which I mean I highly doubt, like they've got the code thing from Eclipse headquarters, so I mean it's possible, but like I doubt it. Like I don't think they would do that. Like it would be its own dedicated update if that was the case. And I mean it could be something like Tristitia. It could be like an element of like Dark Deed seeping into this update. Who knows? But I really just think that this is probably its own thing. It might have something to do with Herbalist Hideout, or it might just be a new dungeon. I don't know. And then this one. It obviously very much resembles what is it called? I used to call it Sandsep to Ruins, but that's that one over there. It's Arid Temple, isn't it? You've got a few shots where it kind of like vaguely resembles Arid Temple. And this one, he's got a shovel, and I mean, the shovel is like the main thing that you use. It's like the main gimmick of Arid Temple. You get the shovel and you dig up all of the soul sand. So I mean, maybe it's an Arid Temple rebuild. I think that would be a little odd. It could also be an alternative path, but like, look at this. We're seeing all of this Arid Temple sort of thing, and I mean, look at this. Like, this is literally, by my knowledge, it's literally the exact same puzzle as what they have in Arid Temple. Like, this is literally just 1-for-1 the exact same puzzle. So I mean, it could be a rebuild. It could just be a redesign of the dungeon, because this room certainly doesn't exist. Or it could be on alternative path. I did originally have the expectation that maybe this is just like a different dungeon that kind of uses like the same themes, but after going to Arid Temple literally yesterday and kind of like seeing this for myself, yeah, this is Arid Temple. Like, that lore block I don't remember being there, so I mean, it's probably a rebuild, or it's an alternate path, kind of like Undermines. We'll have to see. I just think it would be odd if it was a rebuild though. And then this location, this is Mining Town right here, which I think is very fitting. I just hope that they, yeah, like, look at this. It's the massive chunk of iron here, I guess. And And then you've got these pieces of wood. Yeah, so that's what this is. They've obviously cut down on all the wood. And I kind of am just hoping that, because it doesn't seem like they've rebuilt it, I'm kind of just hoping they add something unique here. Because, it's like, why would you come here specifically if it basically offers everything else? Like, look at how inconvenient it is to get here. I mean, I guess there's this way gate here, and I guess you have to cross there, but like, this is an awkward part of the map where it's like wedged between floating islands, Axis Mundi, and it's like, you know, in order to get from like the main hotspot area, for instance, and you know, got to get all the way over here. And it's like, if you were setting out to do this, why would you not just go to somewhere like Quarry, right? Or somewhere like, hell, Alhassa Quarry's right there. It just, I don't know, it just seems like there isn't much going for it unless you're specifically looking to avoid PvP, which, I mean, fair enough, I guess, but it just seems like such a good opportunity. Again, you know, we kind of have the hope that maybe this would be its own thing. We've obviously got 1 to 3, but maybe a 4th one, and that these slots are like their own thing and they're just not in use in this bag. We'll have to see. I just find it very weird that like they would follow this pattern specifically of like aligning all of the contents of this loot, like having a full row of 7 on the top and then 2 on the bottom, and not just like distributing across the line. So like having 5 on the top side and 4 on the bottom side kind of thing. It just seems like an uneven distribution, and that just seems like very odd to me. But I don't know. Yeah. I've already spoken most about that. But yeah, it kind of works like a heal kit, I guess, and like you just kind of deposit stuff. You do see the wooden pickaxe. And I'm assuming this is meant to be either a bit of new terrain, or it's meant to be like whatever this part is over here, near abandoned mineshaft, Coalstruck Hills, I guess. It certainly looks like it could be, so I'm gonna go with that guess. I mean, that's kind of the bulk of it, right? Oh yeah, this, right. What the heck is this? This just seems like it could be a new location. And honestly, maybe this is what this shot earlier on in the video is, of like the guy being in that like this one, this building here. This could just totally be this build here, because this doesn't seem like anything familiar. I mean, it could be one of the things out here, I guess. It could be, I don't know, like Fourth Wind or Rockwood. I don't know. It seems weird because these places already seem kind of like okay. And I mean, normally when a flag comes up, the first thing I do is like I look at the flags, but like these places have like very distinct flags. And when I look at that, it's like nothing like really springs to mind. Like I'm genuinely trying to think where I have seen a flag like that before, and nothing comes to mind. The only thing I will say is we have obviously got this this biome of what appears like spruce, so it's obviously kind of like a taiga biome. And I'm trying to think if we actually have like a taiga biome in the map somewhere. It isn't springing to mind. I mean, we've obviously got this taiga, but this is like a cold taiga, right? I mean, this is like the closest thing to a taiga in anything but color. And it feels like if the grass was like a darker green, then it just feels like it would be this part of the map specifically. And I mean, if that is the case, then it does open the avenue for this being, because again, we've got the white coloration, we've got the, you know, the kind of the color palette. It does once again open the door for it being Jack Saberlon Mansion, or at least some kind of replacement. Again, if we look at the style of the road, you know, it's a cobblestone, predominantly cobblestone road with lots of gravel, and I mean, it just based on those kind of like environmental tells, it feels like it could be this biome. And then I mean, one thing which I think is, I guess, a little bit less worthy of any kind of note and more just kind of like a personal thing is that if we look at the shape language of like this like kind of archaeology, sort of like architecture here, we've got like these very like cubic kind of towers and housing, and unlike Grimdale, which is all like kind of vertical, we've kind of got like this cubic like stone with like bits of like a brick, and it kind of like gives me like vague like Kami vibes with like these very like blocky houses that kind of like as you layer them up, they like introduce like more blocks into the palette. So like you have the bricks and you have the like the white wood. So it could be like a proximity thing, like, you know, because this biome and this new location has such a proximity to Kami, that's why, you know, that's why the block palette is so similar. But I mean, I think that's like very deep even for like MineZ standards, so like I highly doubt that's the case. I just think that kind of visually it makes sense that this would be in this biome and not necessarily like anywhere else. Obviously, you know, you look at the trees and that does kind of carry the implication that maybe they've reworked a lot of this biome as well, which I kind of can't see that being like the case. I almost feel like that would be like too much, but yeah, you never know. That like this was like a really long update in the making, and it was delayed like a month, several months. So you just don't know. Like, being realistic, how long does it take to remove all of these trees and basically replace them? Like, terrain wise, there's not like too big of a difference. So like, we'll really have to see. But yeah, my money is either new location in this area or, oh god, I don't freaking know. Let's just go with that's my best guess. I don't think it's going to be Guten though. I don't think they would rebuild Guten another time. Like, it's fine as it is. We already talked about this one. This is new, and also there's a lore block there, so there's obviously something here. And dare I chance it, this is probably a Pravis dungeon. I don't know. It's maybe it's just the way things are strewn about again, or maybe it's like the I don't know. Block palette wise, it could be like, you know, you've got kind of interesting shape language here. Maybe it could be inside of a shipwreck. Who knows? And there's really no telling whether this is even like a dungeon, right? Maybe this is just like a thing. But it kind of seems like this would be some kind of dungeon. Like, again, we link back to some earlier frames, and I know that it did appear earlier in the video. There was a spot of like what appeared to be, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It looks like a boat. It looks like the inside of a boat, and it could be Pravis, but like, they were obviously making in this trailer, they were making a point of showing like not only Kadar, but also like Arid Temple as well. So I really do have my doubts that it would be another dungeon so close, but we'll just have to see. And then we've also got this, whatever this is. Similar kind of block palette. We've got sand again, so I mean, probably sand swept ruins. But it's like, I don't know. Because you've also like got like hints of like the granite as well, so it could also be like somewhere in the new biome rework as well. But no, this one has me really stumped, honestly. Like there's no like real good tell of like what this could be. Um but other than that, like, oh, I didn't even realize this was a shot. Hold on. What is this? What are we looking at here? The cannon fires. Um Yeah, no, I was saying Sandswept Ruins because I was thinking of oh, whatever. I don't know. There used to be a place called Sandswept Ruins, I swear. Yeah, this place. Um and I mean, it kind of like bears a resemblance, but like this does just seem like a new dungeon. But then again, there's hot sand here. So it really could just be like an upgrade to our temple. Like um considering you have to like below this door open, and that very much seems to be like what they're depicting with like the cannon like going through the wall. It very much could just be like an undermines type thing where like, I don't know, maybe you just have to like arm that, maybe with coal or something. Maybe you have to like get coal, and that's how it links into the update. Is you've got this new coal, which is like a new material. You put it in the cannon, and the cannon fires, and you open this new part of the dungeon, and it's kind of like undermines, except like not really. Um, I don't know. It's hard to say, but who knows? I, I mean, there's Hot Sand in Eclipse headquarters. Maybe. Who knows? That it could be an Eclipse headquarters upgrade. Um, but I think that's the final shot. Yeah, that's everything. And then we've got August 26th. So I guess I'm obligated to play this update when it comes out and live stream it now. So I don't know. I guess we're back to this or something. But I mean, considering they show Kadar, I don't know. It's funny because it does look like a ship, and then we do have like a ghost, but it's like, I don't know. It just seems so odd. Like there really is not much that we can like define this as. Like it's such a broad like appearance that it literally just could be anything. Um, but based on what we see of like Pravis, which I mean, to be fair, Pravis does use a big variety of blocks. Like, but it is like oak, and I don't know, maybe there is like a little bit of dark wood, like spruce or dark oak or something. Um, so I don't know, maybe it's someplace in Pravis, and maybe we're about to get haunted by like a spooky ghost. But who knows, honestly. Um, anyway, I guess the final thing to mention is it called Capital Gains because we have New Grimdale, or is it literally just the economy update? I mean, maybe you can count economy as like blocks. It's not like in the real sense, but like you are like working, you are like collecting. But I really don't think MineZ would add an economy. And I feel like if it was meant to be obvious, then it would be obvious kind of thing. And it really isn't. Like there is nothing in this trailer that really signifies that there would be any kind of money. And yeah, no, it just really feels like they would make a point of that, but they haven't. I think it's just a pun. Um but I mean that just about covers it, right? Like I can't see it being anything other than just a play on words now that we have this trailer, and you know we've seen nothing. And for some reason My phone alarm has just gone off. I have no clue why. I set my alarm for like 2 hours ago. It's whatever. It was an alarm to stream, and then I was late to my own stream. It's fine. Okay. So what is next on the agenda? Next on the agenda, one moment. Oh, it works! Oh! We haven't been here in a long while. Okay, let's get the music back on. Ladies and gents and everything in between, we are playing MineZ. And I have no clue where I am because I have not logged in like a really long time. Oh, of course, I was here yesterday. So I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely have no clue what I was thinking of doing. That music is way too loud, I can tell. Here, let's make things pretty, I guess. I may have just crashed my game. Oh no, we're fine. So I am testing a mod pack right now. One that was vaguely recommended, but also I included a few of my own quality of life mods. Like I added like a mini map, and well, you can kind of see my habits of going around MineZ. I see that, yeah, no, my usual route of just going up the ice road, crossing into Cyrus, going to Ghost Ship. Yeah, no, that's all basically stayed. Yeah, no, I was kind of recommended like a load of mods by like Tiger and like a few other people, and I kind of just wanted to try just like playing the game with like an enhanced version, because I was like the only human being on the planet that ever used to play on vanilla, so God, it's so bright with like the shaders. Jesus. My room was so dark, and now I'm just looking at this. Is that... Why is it so dark over there? Is that like a cloud shadow or something? That's sick. But no, I'm like... Oh my god, I'm so bad. I'm looking at like this really bright sand, and it's kind of like a flashbang. It's kind of like a flashbang, not gonna lie. Because my room was like really dark, and garbage gameplay, SMH. Your mum, spelled with a U, apostrophe RE. Yeah. I need to cook. And I also have so many... What was I doing on this account last time? Jesus Christ. Oh, one cool thing about the shader pack, by the way, is that not only does it have reflections, if you can like kind of see on like the diamond, but also like the corner of things are like glowing and such. So I mean, that's pretty cool. Anyway, I think what I'm probably gonna do, honestly, is I am probably going to go like gonna go to Grimdale.
Huh?
Just gonna take a moment to admire what we will lose in 5 days' time, I guess. Yeah, let's go to let's go to Grimdale first of all. I think it's this one. Yeah, there we are. So like this dock is like way shrunk. Man, it's gonna be so weird. But it kind of like has a very similar feel in the trailer, right? Like, it feels like when you enter the town for the first time by the boat, you kind of like wrap around and you got that big building there and it kind of like feels very similar, right? But at the same time, it kind of feels a lot smaller. I don't know, maybe I'll have to play it. Anyway, this is the route that I used to follow whenever I used to come to Grimdale. So I used to like come into this house, and I used to like grab those, and then I used to like come around here, and then you even got iron here. My god, if they're gonna have to like remove like iron from like every spot in the game now. Ay ay ay. Yeah, and then you grab it from there, and then I think what I did. Oh, I don't even remember. I had like a really good looting cycle. I genuinely see, this is the problem, and it kind of highlights the problem with Grimdale is I've kind of already forgotten how I loot this place. But I think it was like I used to come in here. And then it's like one of these houses. It's like a food chest. It's this one here. I'm actually gonna keep my cooked food. But yeah, this is like a food house. You grab the food from here, and then you come around. And I think you can go into this one. There's more food, I guess. And like a civ chest there, and then I think that was like, I don't remember if it was this one had a military chest, yeah. But it's like this part of the town gives you enough, and I used to like come around here, and then I would like run into here, grab parts, which I'm gonna do now. Yeah, I'm kind of remembering this now. And I'm kind of also, like... It's kind of also, like, very fair that, like, Grimdale is, like, super hard to navigate and people would want it changed. Because, I mean, it is pretty tough. And then I used to, like, come into this one, I think. Was it this one? Or it might have been the next one along. Might have been this one. One of these has a food chest. Yeah, it's this one as well. You can tell the food chest because they've got bread. Yeah, and then I would like, I think I would like, I would drop down on here because you just get enough parts to just do it. And then, I don't remember which one exactly. I used to be able to like speedrun this and just like literally only go to the ones that you need to go to. I'm gonna grab this. Yeah, no. Any of these houses that like has any of these houses that has anything other than food, I just would not have come into when I do my loot cycle. But, like, I think the main pitfall of Grimdale is that people come into a town like this and they expect to loot everything. But, like, that is very obviously, like, not the goal of Grimdale, right? The goal of Grimdale is to basically just grab what you need and go. Like, you're not meant to loot the whole thing. You're meant to find a good cycle that's, like, fit for you, and then you're meant to be on your way, essentially. And a lot of people didn't realize that, or they just didn't like that, because they like the idea of going through, like, a whole town. And that played a big part in why people stopped wanting to go to these places, is because, well, you know, why would I run around the massive town if I'm not even gonna loot half the chests? It's just a waste of time. And it's also... yeah, it's also like a case of, like... why would you? Like, why would you when you could literally just go to anywhere else? Like Pravis. Like, why would you not just go to Pravis? For instance. Anyway, I gotta figure out where I'm going. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna kill a golem. I'm gonna go kill a golem. To commemorate, I don't know, like Scorch golems or something. I also kind of want to check out the, the Yongton Abbey rebuild in person. Cause... Yongton Abbey was very much my original favorite location. It's probably my second favorite. Because, when I was new to the game, I always used to go there. And I never knew what was further, and I was too afraid to explore and get lost. So, like, I literally just, like, went to Yongton and just stayed there. Because you could get iron, way back in the day, just by going to Yongton. And it's like, you really had to work for it. Like, it took a really long time, but, like, that was part of the fun. Was, like, opening, like, a chest and, like, getting iron. And, like, that dopamine hit. As a kid. And it was also, like, really scary, because it was, like, really isolated back then. And, like, a lot of people were around, and you were like, okay, I'm going onto this big server. And, like, maybe someone is waiting for me, like, right around the corner, right? But no, I used to go there because, like, I watched Ant Venom series, and he got, like, killed by, like, a bandit at Yongton Abbey, and I never really thought to go anywhere else, because I did not know the MineZ map. And I also never watched any other content creators. I can't think why. Like, I would have thought that back then, considering how, like, invested I was in MineZ, that I would have, I don't know, maybe actually looked it up, but I guess not. I looked it up for, like, the first time ever when I wanted to find out how to get legendaries. Because around about 2014, was it 2014 or 2015? Sometimes you have to get lost in the wilderness to find your way. I mean, true. But also, like, 9-year-old me was a pussy. Cartographer. I miss the cartographer events, honestly. I think the cartographer stuff, like thinking back, I think the cartographer stuff might genuinely be one of my favorite memories in MineZ. Because there's just like something so cool about like interacting with the world and like the story, right? And like actually feeling like you're just playing the game just like normally, but you're also like making an impact. I know you're not really making an impact, right? But like, here, so this is like the part which I thought it was in the trailer, where like the guy comes up to the anvil. Maybe not though, because like there's no fences here in the trailer. But I thought maybe that building was like what it was. But yeah, no, I used to think like the cartographer events were so cool. I mean, I still kind of do. I wish they would do them. But like, you just know that like all of like the PvP sweats are just gonna like gang up on the guy. Because like there's no reward for like not killing him. Aside from the lore. But like, the lore that he tells you is probably gonna be inconsequential because like, let's be real, they wouldn't ruin like key like MineZ story beats over like a world event, right? Or at least not one which hasn't been like thoroughly pre-built. Oh my god, those bird sounds are so loud. That's going to 20%. Alright. Let's kill a golem today. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of... feel like... I'm trying so desperately to cling on to my train of thought right now. All I see is road. All I think is road. I don't know, I just feel like so much of the game of MineZ is taken up by like so much mundane stuff, you know? Like, a lot of the time you're just kind of like either traveling around or like looting chests. Which I mean, it's no fault of the game, right? But there's like, there's nothing that really keeps you on edge about looting these days. Cause like, you always know that like, eventually you're going to get something you want. I just threw a splash for no reason. Oh, this is kind of cool. Oh gosh, I'm gonna need to... Oh, that's like really awkward. What is this house? Is that pink? Oh, it's just because there's... Just because there's like a red torch under there or something. Whoa. That would have been a really awesome chest if I was under here. But I don't know, I just feel like there's nothing to really get you excited about opening chests. Like, sure, you might get an iron, like, you might get an iron piece every now and then. Maybe you'll get a gunpowder, and like, yeah, when you get a gunpowder, that's when you're happy. But it's like, otherwise, it's kind of like same old, you know? After a while, the novelty kind of wears off. It's kind of like why I always used to say, like, it would be really cool if they, like, made it so there was, like, a really, really low chance that you could get, like, cosmetics, for instance, right? Like, a really low chance that you get, like, some kind of, like, exclusive cosmetic. Like, depending on, like, the season or, like, the, there's, like, a certain time frame where it's, like, an event or something. And there's just, like, a small chance where, like, when you open a chest, you'll just find, like, this item that you can, like, claim for, like, a cosmetic. Kind of like gem hunters. Does anyone remember gem hunters? Does anyone remember gem hunters? I think that to this day, gem hunters is probably one of my favorite game modes in Minecraft ever. Just because, like, the idea of, like, playing the game normally and, like, getting loot and, like, gearing and stuff was cool. And it kind of, like, had this very MineZ-esque type thing where, like, you go around looting chests and then you'll, like, eventually you, like, get, like, stuff to fight other people with, and you run into other people, and it's, like, you could earn money, and it was kind of cool. So it had, like, that layer to it. But then there was also, like, this extra layer where, like, you could potentially find, like, this really rare, like, cosmetic, or, like, this loot, and you would be, like, marked on the map, and everyone would start, like, hunting you. And, like, you couldn't log out until you defended yourself. And, like, stayed alive for, like, a certain amount of time. And everyone would just be hunting you, because you had, like, this really cool cosmetic that, like, applied to, like, the wider scope, like, the network as a whole. In, like, the case of, like, Mineplex. Rip Mineplex, by the way. But yeah, no, I just think it would be really cool if MineZ had something like that. Where, like, you open a chest and you find, like, a cosmetic. And, like, I don't know, maybe it, like, makes you, like, a PvP target. And maybe, like, people start hunting you down. Or maybe just, you just have it. And it's, like, really rare. But I don't know. I think it would be really cool. As, like a PvP thing. And a PvE thing. Kind of like the Reaper's chests from Sea of Thieves. Where, like, if you're carrying a Reaper's chest, it's, like, on the map. And, like, everyone comes and tries to hunt you. Which, I mean, if you want to play that high-risk, high-reward game style, go ahead, honestly. I don't see why it would be bad, like, or, like, a detriment for the game. As long as it was, like, very, like, distinct in, like, the lore of the item, that, like, if you're carrying this thing, you will get hunted. And, like, I don't know, maybe people get, like, compasses that, like, point to you or something. I just think that would be so cool, no? Like, I kid you not, if that was, like, a thing in MineZ, I would be playing this game freaking 24/7. I'm not even joking. You know what would be cool though? Oh, I'm in the Pigman triangle, aren't I? Ow. I'm gonna log out right in the middle of the Pigman triangle. And just switch to PvE. Dude, I'm just imagining now, like, how cool it would be. Like, it would probably kind of be like a supply drop type deal, where like all of a sudden like a ton of people just like get online, start hunting this one guy, because they realize that he's carrying the loot. But wouldn't that be really fun? Like, everyone, like, competing for, like, a cosmetic? Man, I miss Gem Hunters so much. Such a good game. Because it would literally be like a random event every day, right? But it would mean like you are like having events like all the time, if like minuscule like events, right? But like, I don't see something red on my menu now. Oh, it's a mushroom. I'm trying to think, did I overshoot it? Did I miss Laserville? I feel like Laserville's over this way. Hold on. Sorry, I just had to check my stream again. Man, I'm just picturing, like, someone getting a loot item, like a cosmetic in, like, a chest, and then, like, pinging their entire squad, being like, yo, I just got one of those loot things, defend me! And then, like, everyone else on the server just being like, yo, there was, like, this thing in chat. Or, like, I just got a compass or whatever. Everyone get on, we're gonna freaking, like, get the squad online, we're gonna gank this guy. And, like, how many cool, like, team fight opportunities would be spawned from, like, having that? Oh god, that was a lot more damage than I was expecting. So how do you fight these things again? I forgot. Do you just, like, shoot it and then it, like... Oh god. Is there a strategy to avoid getting hit by them? Ouchie mama. I don't know if there's like a strategy for like avoiding damage or if they're just like guaranteed to hit you. Ay, ay. Bouncy, bouncy today, are we? I can't believe that I destroyed Laserville, guys. I still find that so funny. Oh shoot, I just threw out my sword. If you didn't know, when the golem was being added, we were discussing, like, places to put it, and I was like, you know, Laserville is, like, really ugly. Why don't we, like, destroy Laserville? and I think Jacob and Wes would just, like, bet. And, like, I hopped on build server one time, and I just, like, they actually did it. They actually destroyed Laserville. And I just find that so funny. I find it so funny that, like, my lasting impact on this game was destroying Laserville. Right. So... let's repair you. You and you. Excellent. Alright, I don't know where to cook, but I want to cook. So let's cook. I just don't know where there's an oven, or a furnace. I'm sure there's got to be one at Chromia Farm. Oh, maybe the wooden bunker will have one. Let's try that. I'm not gonna lie, Laserville looks way better like this. It's funny, because I remember I felt really guilty when I had to tell Laser that, like, we destroyed Laserville. And he was like, oh no! Anyway, kind of thing. Like, he put on the whole show of being upset, but he didn't really care. Which was kind of relieving, because, like, I love Laser. I felt like really guilty. I wonder if Laser is still around these days. I'm glad that, like, while he was active at least, I'm glad he was around at that specific point in MineZ's history, or like Choppo's history. Because not only did he, like, train Piachi to be a better dev, but, like, he also really stabilized the network after Doc left. Also, man, there's no freaking thing here. Remember, guys, stay hydrated. do I actually have a list of waypoints for MineZ? Oh my god. I should totally make waypoints. You know, way back in the day, when I used to play MineZ a whole ton, I really wanted to make this video series kinda like Ninja Bacon's Story of a Survivor. Where I would like, kinda like tell stories about the game and stuff, while just kinda like playing the game and doing all the content. Just kinda like a casual Let's Play, right? But I also kinda wanted it to like double as like me like, exploring the map. And like, so I'm using a mini-map mod, and I like had the idea of me like filling out like my mini-map over the course of like the series, with like the end goal of the series being like to fill out the map entirely. Except I would have like a bunch of like plugins that, or sorry, like a bunch of like mods that would make it so like I can't like see tab, I can't like see my coordinates. So it would be like kind of difficult. But it would have been cool. I just never did it. And I mean, if there was demand for it, then maybe I would consider it, but like otherwise, like, I don't think I'm motivated enough to like edit a series like that, you know? Like, I just realized I also crossed Chromia like ages ago. Yeah, no, if there was demand for a series like that, I might consider it, but like, I've been so like out of streaming for so long. I just haven't done anything. Like, this is like a one-off, and literally I'm doing this because of a dare. Well, not really like a dare, but like, I'm doing this in response to something predictable said, so it's kind of like a spike stream, but like not really. Right. If I was a furnace here, where would I be? There we go. I wonder if these furnaces are still going to be a thing in the update, or if they're going to also be replaced. Maybe they'll remove kindling and you have to use coal to cook food now. Which, I mean, actually seems better, right? Because it means that, it means that cooked food is way more accessible. Alright. So what else is there to do in this update, I wonder? I don't know what else to do, really. Like, I've killed a giant. Or a golem. Maybe I should just kill a giant. Isn't that like that new... Well, I say new, but it's probably quite old now. Isn't that like the new giant spot, like, up this way or something? I forget. Maybe I should fight a giant. Man, I can't believe the cartographer got online, said some words and then left. My guy didn't even jump the stream. He just said some words basically calling 2014 me bad, and then left. Oh, what the heck is that? Oh, is that Wavernia? Oh man, I forgot the terrain looked like this. It seems so, like, out of... It seems so, like, out of place. I'm not gonna lie though, that is a pretty sick build. Damn. Disgruntled servant. Cosmic crisis. Okay, that's a bunch of words that I feel like I should know, but I forgot. I mean... I guess the cosmic crisis is referring to the meteorites, I guess? What is that about a council meeting, though? Interesting. Does it mean, like, the Eclipse Council? Like, is Castle Wavernia, like... Was it owned by, like, an Umbra at one point? Someone just pinged me on Discord. Oh, is this up here? No, that's solid. Which also kind of looks like a boat on the front. Kind of. Okay, not really, actually. Oh man, where is this thing? I forgot. Is it along this way? Hold on, let me check the MineZ Now. I hope I didn't pass it. Okay, I didn't. It's just a little bit this way. Ah, tiny dock. I love this place. How do you get all four of them to be here at the same time? You just have to be like really fast with like the button presses or whatever. Well, do you need two people? Does it play music when you do this? I always forget. Does it play music when you do this? Damn it. I don't think I can do that solo. Oh well. Hmm. Oh god, there's actually magma here. Oh wait, but it's underground. Okay, that's fine. I was about to say, this is going to be an arena and a half. Jesus. Wow, this is actually kind of cool though. Giant zombie. It is a giant zombie! Wait! So it's not just a giant. Bruh. I want to know, how the hell are there giant zombies in the MineZ lore? How does this make any sense? America, explain! Where is my sword? God, it's so annoying. Because slowness actually, if you don't know, slowness actually reduces your hit range by like 0.1 blocks. So it actually becomes so irritating to try and hit zombies when you're slowed. See, all of these things are hitting me. It is partially because of ping, but also, like, it's because I'm slow. Come on, it's so low. Yeah. 2 infos. Oh, there's a timer now. That's so sick. I really like that change. So there's 2 infos. Okay, very nice, very nice. God, I'm so bad at this game, actually. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, I should have actually had my voltaic wedge on me there. Damn. How does it work? I kind of want to see it in action, actually. Maybe I'll go do Warped Ruins and then, like, use a voltaic wedge or something. Maybe that's how I end the stream off, is... Let's go do that. Oh, listen to that wind. Ooh. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, I don't actually know how far I need to travel. I think it's like 600 blocks. The boats don't stay anymore, sadly, even with 4 people. Wait, how much of a delay is my stream on? Don't tell me my stream is on like a 10-minute delay. Oh god. I mean, it doesn't really matter all that much. I just like it to be in live. I prefer it to be in live. Oh, is this it here? Is this it up ahead? Yeah, looks like. God, I love these parts of the map. Like, the new terrain looks so sick. I actually kind of like that, like, some parts are, like, harder to navigate than others, because it really encourages people to, like, use grapples. And also to, like, follow the roads and, like, use the roads as, like, holding points and whatnot. Like, it just feels, like, way more strategic that way. But at the same time, like, it also doesn't feel, like, stupidly, like, steep. Like, in a cringe way, like the Class Mountains. Like, it feels reasonable. Oh, that was me being a dummy. Dummy-dumb. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this! Just do it with shaders? Yeah. Just saying, I'm like so bad at this dungeon, by the way, so like... I'm probably gonna die, like... Well, not die, but like, you know... Probably gonna like fail instantly. I really do like seriously feel like I'm just gonna like instantly fail. Cause like I've not done this in so long. I used to be so good at this. But like I actually haven't played Minecraft in so long. God, it's so bright as well. Why did my music turn off? There we are. I really think my stream delay is set to too long. Whoops. Oh wow. Okay, that was just me being bad. Oh wait, I think my stream delay is only like 10 seconds or something. Probably because of ping or something. I don't know why this has me so stressed out. Oh, I hope there's food in here as well. I probably should have brought food. That's just a power one. Oh. That's better than my current sword, actually. Okay, any chest over here? No, I guess it's just this. I also probably should open my window. Jesus Christ, it feels so hot in here. It's been really hot lately. Like, humid. God, I actually prefer it when it's raining. Because, like, at least when it's raining, it actually, like, it kind of cools you off. But, like, when it's, like, humid, it sticks to you. And it's, like, really uncomfortable and horrible, and I hate it. I don't remember ever seeing this parkour before. I feel like I've never seen this part. Yeah, I feel like in all the times I've ever run this dungeon, I feel like I've never seen that part. God, it's so weird to see, like, they generate all of, like, those extra areas, and, like, you never go to any of them, I don't think. Like, it's so strange. Like, look at how much I've generated. And, like, look at how I'm, like, never gonna go to, like, any of these. Like that over there. Oh god, I better not run out of food. I feel like I haven't seen this path either. That's so weird. Did they add a bunch of, like, new routes since I quit? Cause, like, I feel like I've never seen some of these. I've seen this one. No! Oh well. Oh, I'm at bind point. Okay. That could have been worse. At least I think I'm at bind point. This is bind point, right? Yeah, this is bind point. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough food though. I might have to run to abandoned farm. Damn it. Oh well. Honestly, that's fine. I can take that L. Got where you go from here though. Do you? It doesn't matter, I guess. Oh, wait, no, I think I have an idea. Pardon me. This is probably more practical. It's probably more direct. It's funny how this is Longbridge. It's got no guardrails or anything. Every time I cross a bridge with rails now, I always think of, like, that one clip of, like, that guy. I don't know, you might not know what I'm talking about. There's, like, this one clip of, like, this guy on the bridge. On, like, I don't know if it's, like, the Shrine Bridge or something. And he's, like, I think it's, like, Chinese or something, just, like, screaming his lungs out. Like, literally, like, the most, like... I want to say, like, the most, like, 13-year-old voice I think I've ever heard in my entire life. Just, like, screaming as he's, like, trying to log out and he's getting, like, punched by his teammates. And he, like, gets to, like, half a heart and he, like, earth shakers and, like, combos, like, one of the people off the side of the bridge. Like, you might not know what video I'm talking about, but it's like a MineZ video. It's kind of funny. It's like... Poor guy, like, literally, like, experiences a voice... Like, no, his voice is the voice crack. Like, he doesn't even, like, experience voice cracks. Like, his voice is just a voice crack. It's so funny. And it's also, like, it also, like, lives rent-free in my head. Ooh, good chest. Okay, back to buying point. Dude, some of this terrain looks so cool. I remember when it first came out, and we were like, what the heck? Because it looked so out of place. But like, it also, like, it looks really cool. But it still does kind of feel like out of place, you know? Like, it looks so odd. It's so weird, like, it's so strange. But it's like, imagine if like the whole map looked like this, it would be crazy. It's just a shame, because like they can't really like modify the terrain too much. Because like the PvPers would get mad. Because like, I really feel like a build like this would benefit from like having like not flat pathways. But all the PvPers would just mold, so it couldn't happen. I know, it just feels like such a flat build for as cold as it looks. FYI, remember to stay hydrated. Don't even need this, do I? There's a bug, right? Or do I? I'll just take it anyway, just in case. I'm pretty sure there's like a scoreboard issue right now, right? Look at how cool these look. With like the colored lighting. I think it's colored lighting. I don't remember. But it looks really cool. Damn, look at that. I almost just went for that jump as well. Like, I almost just went for the jump, like, as it was still, like... before it moved. See, it's so weird. You teleport to, like, random places. It's so odd. Ouch. Oh, I almost just trolled that so hard. You know, I wonder if the new update will bring any lore. Like, obviously there were lore blocks, but like, sometimes in the past, there's like they've like added lore blocks and like no lore to them, and it's like kind of like it's weird because like you forget that they add them, and then you like go back to them. Like you go back to the lore blocks, and you're like, do they still work? Are they broken still? Like, and then sometimes they'll just like add lore to like the lore blocks, and like they won't even like mention it in the patch notes or anything. Like, I feel like that's happened at least once. And like I remember when they like randomly like one day they like added lore to like the ghost ship, and it was like it mentioned like Tirich, and then they never mentioned Tirich ever again. Which is a shame. Because it's kind of implied that, like, he either just randomly went on, like, the ghost ship one day, or, like, he's the guy who's, like, responsible for, like, ghost ship being ghost ship. And that he, like, turned them undead with, like, his eclipse powers or something. Like, that's kind of what it implies, right? He came aboard the ghost ship and he just turned them all into, like, cursed crew or something. But it's like, we'll never know, because, like, where is Dark Deeds? I don't know, it just feels like the update, like, won't... Well, not the update, but it just feels like MineZ, like, won't truly have a direction. Oh my goodness, I've just fell again. Feels like MineZ's like lore won't really have a direction until they resolve either the stuff with Tirich or they do the end game. Where was it again? Was it this way? How long have I been muted for? I was muted this whole time, wasn't I? That's a massive W, I gotta say. I'm taking all the W's today. When did I mute? When did I come back? Somebody tell me. This is important to me. Somebody tell me! Oh well. If that's all... Okay, I don't actually know how... I'm actually gonna find out exactly how long I've been muted. I think it's like 6 so hot in here. I'm muted again! I need to stop doing that. How long have I been muted for? I feel so dumb. Oh my gosh, wait, someone... I'm muted again! Oh, shut up, me. Oh, I hate that voice. How long have I been muted for? I need to know. Because this is very important. I remembered something. I remembered something that I completely missed out. What is this button? What does this button do? Is this like a crafter's block for the component bag? Is this like how you turn on mining mode or something? Like, what is this? Like, it's just an anvil, and it's like, well, like, what? I don't know. Oh well. I guess we'll have to find out on the day of the update. I'm gonna call the stream here, guys. To those of you who have been watching and putting up with me either talking or muted, I very much appreciate your company. And well, when the update rolls around, however good it may be, we'll be studying in the Law Shack, because I'm probably not logging onto MineZ in the next few days, I'm gonna be real. So I will see you guys then. And yeah. I guess I have an obligation to stream, so I probably will. Maybe on the day. Depends. But yeah, I'll see you guys around.